If I have a rope that is 6.344 meters long and I want to cut it into 4 equal pieces, how long will each piece be? So I'll go ahead and give you a second to pause it here and try this one out on your own, and then I will go through it with you. So a couple things here before we get started. I think it's important to know on questions that involve word problems, it's helpful to draw a diagram just to help make sure that we know what kind of math that we're doing here. So a diagram for something talking about a rope is fairly easy because we can just draw a line for the rope and we can say, hey, this whole thing here is 6.344 meters. And this diagram is helpful because if we're trying to figure out what kind of math that we're doing, well, okay, we're taking this full rope and cutting it into 4 equal pieces. Now, if we hear that idea of cutting something into equal pieces, that really should trigger us to think, hey, we should be dividing this thing into these 4 pieces. So it kind of helps us set up the problem as well because, okay, now we know we're doing division, but are we doing 4 divided by 6.344 or is it 6.344 divided by 4? So we have to make sure not to fall into the trap of, hey, we always need to divide the smaller number from the bigger number. But in this case here, we are taking one thing and dividing it into 4 different pieces. So if we can say that word out loud, that we're taking 6.344 and then dividing it into 4 pieces, then that should really tell us the way that we set up our problem here. So remember, when we're setting up a division problem, we got to make sure to know which number goes on the inside when we're doing long division. We have to flip this one over and goes on the inside here. So now we're just doing straight division because we know that since this number on the outside is a whole number, we don't have any decimals in it, we don't have to worry about multiplying both the inside and the outside by 10 or 100. So we do need to know that the decimal is here in the dividend, so we know that the decimal is going to be matched up within the quotient. So after we've done that, we can kind of ignore the decimal and just start doing our long division. So how many times does 4 go into 6? Bring down the 3. How many times does 4 go into 23? And so on. So once we do our long division and we end without a remainder here, we have no more numbers in our dividend, and that tells us the answer here is 1.586. But remember that when we're answering a question, we want to actually answer the word problem and what it's asking. So what the real answer is that each piece of rope after cutting it will be 1.586 meters.